welcome back to Getaway Day. As you've noticed, this is not our normal day. I am here by myself. Things have gotten a little bit busy for Gautam and I just in our personal lives here recently, so I'm going to take today and just kind of do a little bit of a solo update. Won't be very long, so thank you for sticking around and bearing with us as we have been navigating a few things and should be back to our normal schedule here pretty soon. So first off, I kind of just want to take a moment to say we're almost at the end of another baseball season. It has been awesome. It's been now our fourth year, I believe. No, fifth year, because the 21 season, 22, 23, 24, 25. This is the end of our fifth season doing this podcast, and it has been so much fun, and it's going to continue to be so much fun. So yeah, as you've probably heard bits and pieces, there's a couple other projects going on with me specifically, Twin Bird Breaks, that I'm doing with my buddy Britt. If you like baseball cards, you like seeing baseball cards, we're kind of taking what I was doing with Getaway Day cards and we're quadrupling down on it. If you want to get into some breaks and potentially get some cards yourself, we are starting to run some breaks over there. Just go check it out on social media. We'll tag it in with this video and podcast below. So go check that out. With that being said, Gautam and I talked a couple weeks ago about a couple of milestones that we are expecting to be hit. And one of them has been reached. Cal Raleigh has hit his 54th home run of this season. That ties him with Mickey Mantle for the most home runs in a single season by a switch hitter in history. He hits one more, he's the guy. Big Dumper, the catcher for the Seattle Mariners. Two things that when you say, especially in the same sentence, you would never expect to hear hits a home run record. Mariners playing in T-Mobile Park, which is a hitter, a pitcher's park, straight up. It is so hard to hit a ball there, and Cal Raleigh has done it time and time again. I actually didn't pull up his splits here, so let me do that real quick. So his splits, he has hit 26 of his 54 home runs at home. He's hit almost 50% of his home runs at home in T-Mobile Park. That's incredible. You have to have a massive amount of power to do that. He has been significantly better on the road. Only 2 more home runs, but when you look at some of his other stats, like his batting average, he's got a 40-point benefit on the road that he doesn't have at home. He hits 264 on the road, 223 at home. He has been really, really consistent month to month this year. Basically, August was his worst month of the season as far as home runs, and he hit 8. He has 4 so far this month. We're only halfway through the month. So Cal is on pace to maybe even hit 60. And he's hit 10, 12, 11, 9, 8. So if he can hit 8 or more home runs, we're seeing something spectacular here, and I hope you guys are watching it. Now, along with Cal Raleigh hitting his 54th home run, I was looking at the leaderboards and I noticed something. We have 2 guys over 50 home runs already, and that's Raleigh and Kyle Schwarber, who's hit his 53rd. Now, we have 2 other guys who are not strangers to the 50 home run club in Shohei Ohtani and Aaron Judge, who are a sneeze away from joining them. So if Ohtani hits 1 more home run, if Judge hits 2 more home runs, and we have 4 guys in the 50 home run club in the same season, how rare is that? Because it sounds like something incredibly rare. Like, thinking just off the top of my head, I couldn't come up with any. I assumed that maybe the home run race in 98, I assumed maybe there was something with A-Rod and a couple other guys. And I was sort of right. So looking back throughout history, so far we have two. Last year we had two guys reach 50. 2023, one. 2017, two guys. 2007, two guys. 2006, two guys. 2002, two guys. Now here's where things start getting interesting. 2001, we had three guys in the 50 home run club. We had Sammy Sosa, Alex Rodriguez, and Luis Gonzalez, who did it for Arizona in their magical season where they won their World Series against the New York Yankees to end the repeat at 3. But that's not 4. It's only 3. So you have to keep looking back. In 2000, Sammy Sosa was the only guy to hit 50. 1999, McGuire and Sosa. Now, 1998, the summer of 98, slamming Sammy with his 20 home runs in the month of June. That is the first time that we get back to a 4-player 50-homer season with Greg Vaughn in San Diego, King Griffey Jr. in Seattle, of all places, Mark McGuire when he hit his 70 home runs, and Sammy Sosa not far behind him with 66. So we have seen seasons with 4 guys hitting 50 home runs or more all at the same time. But it's been a long time since. It's been 27 years, actually. And then you look back further, and 1997, 2 players. 96, 2 players. 95, 1 player. You actually have to go all the way back to... Hold on. Am I missing it? I thought there was a second one. Maybe I miscounted. I thought there were 2. But actually, if this is the only time... let's see, 96, 97... Yeah, because 2001... Oh, sorry, 2001 was a 4-homer guy. I totally missed the big one. Barry Bonds with 73 homers. The season that set the standard, 2001. So we have only twice seen 200 combined homers from 4 players. And the last one was 24 years ago. There's players in the league who weren't even born the last time that this was done. And we're about to see it from Cal Raleigh, a switch hitter in Seattle. Kyle Schwarber, the man that has so much power that no matter where he goes, he is a star. Aaron Judge, arguably one of the best baseball players we have ever seen. And Shohei Ohtani, arguably the best baseball player that we have ever seen. That is a spectacular season and a spectacular feat, and I don't think we're going to see it for a very long time. This season is kind of a dead ball season too. So having 4 50-homer guys in a dead ball season is nuts. But that's not really all that we're here to talk about, is it? There's so much more. We have Paul Skeens, who is back on track for a sub-2 ERA for this season. He is at 178 innings pitched through 30 games with a 1.92 ERA, a FIP that is better than all but 3 players' ERAs with the 3.35. The only guys who have a better ERA than Paul Skeens has a FIP are Hunter Brown, Tarek Skubal, and Paul Skeens. So we're seeing some incredible seasons from some incredible players that, quite frankly, I don't know that we're going to see this much success on both sides of the plate in the same season at the same time again. I mean, it's just astounding that you have a guy who gives up so few home runs. Skeens, it takes 18 innings for teams to hit 1 home run off him. 18 innings. He hardly walks guys, less than 2 per 9 innings. He gets a lot of strikeouts. And he's rocking that 1.92 ERA on the season, and I believe that brings his career to like a 1.93. He is one of the best pitchers we've ever seen. He's going to win the Cy Young this year. There's really no question about it. Now, in the American League, there's an argument that maybe Hunter Brown deserves it. Tarek Skubal has been better. Tarek Skubal, I think, also came out of a start with an injury here this week in the 4th inning. So depending on how Hunter Brown can finish the season, if Skubal is hurt, which I actually haven't seen an update on Skubal, let's just take a look at that right now. So his left side came back negative Saturday after removed in the 4th inning against the Marlins. So it looks like it might have just been precautionary. He is not on the injured list. So he should be making his next start, I would assume. But yeah, this has been an incredible season for a bunch of different players. So looking at stolen bases, I know we were talking about 30-30 guys here recently. Francisco Lindor is getting close. He just needs 4 home runs in the rest of this month to reach his 30-30. Jazz Chisholm needs 1 home run. Juan Soto has stolen 6 bases since we last talked. He is now 40-32. I don't understand where Juan Soto got this stolen base prowess. He's never shown it in the past, and he's doing it. Pete Crow Armstrong, 1 home run away from his 30-30. So we're seeing some really, really good baseball. Now, when you look at the playoff standings, because that's the other big thing we need to talk about and that we talked about last week. The Milwaukee Brewers have claimed their spot. The Philadelphia Phillies have claimed the division, actually. The Brewers have only claimed a spot. They have not quite won the division against the Cubs yet. They have a 5-game lead, whereas Philly had a 12.5-game lead after the New York Mets went on an 8-game losing streak here in the last week and a half. They finally got the win yesterday, but the Mets are down bad. The NL West is still fighting it out. The AL East still fighting it out. The Blue Jays have somehow not clinched a playoff spot yet, even though they're 88-62. They have a 5-game lead in the division. They have a even bigger lead if they fell to a wild card spot. They're on a 5-game winning streak, and yet they still somehow have not clinched. So I would assume their E number is in the single digits, and they're probably going to clinch here in the next day or two. Now, with the Blue Jays, they actually made a pretty big move here, and they called up Trey Savage. Trey Savage was their number 1 pick last year. Last year, 2024. He was the 20th overall pick, their first rounder. And he actually came up and he started yesterday. Took a no decision, 5 innings, and pitched really good ball. I think he gave up 1 run. Where is it? Runs. Yes, 1 run on 3 hits through 5 innings in his major league debut for the Toronto Blue Jays. The Blue Jays are making a push for a World Series. That is all their mind is set on right now. They have Bo in his final year of his contract. They have Vladdy, who they've locked down long term. Well, they have a 5-game lead in the division. This is probably the best chance they're going to have for a while. So Savage has been very, very good at the minors. This year, he's actually pitched to a 3.12 ERA with 160 strikeouts on the season in only 98 innings. So not overly taxed. He's been very, very effective. And so they brought him up to the majors, and he showed his strikeout stuff does still work here at the majors, getting 9 Ks in his first game. So Trey Savage is potentially going to be a big part of this rotation here for the final month of the season and potentially a playoff run. Now the Yankees, they're holding water. They've been about 500. They've not been incredible, but they've not been bad either. The Red Sox kind of just keeping pace. Neither one of those teams has been able to really outbeat the other. So it's looking like we might actually end up with a first round Yankees-Red Sox wildcard round series, which, as it stands right now, would be in Yankee Stadium for all 3 games. The Tigers, they've kind of had a rough stretch recently, but they are in control of that division. 85-65, 6.5 game lead over the Guardians. It's just a matter of time until they claim the division. And where it gets super interesting is in the American League West. The Seattle Mariners have been riding Cal Raleigh's hot streak and have taken over first place in the division by half a game. They have won 9 games in a row to pass the Houston Astros, who are 82-69. So they've already guaranteed themselves a winning season. The Texas Rangers, only 3.5 games behind. So this is still a 3-team race coming into the final 2 weeks. I believe the 27th of September is the final game, if I'm not mistaken. So we have about 12 days. So this is going to be tight. But the Mariners are in the lead. The Mariners have the easiest schedule remaining of those 3 teams. They control their own destiny. So that's just a quick and dirty look at the playoff picture as far as who's in right now. But I want to circle back to the Mets because I just mentioned a few minutes ago, the Mets have actually lost 8 games in a row. They still hold a wild card spot right now. They are actually the 3rd wild card, 5 games behind the Padres and 9 games behind the Cubs. Well, the teams behind them are now the Arizona Diamondbacks, who came kind of out of nowhere. The Cincinnati Reds, who were the next up until a really just lackluster last 2 weeks. They're only 2 games behind the Mets, but when the Mets are sliding that bad, you would think that they would be able to overtake, yet they couldn't. They've gone 500 in their last 10 games, and they've kind of been about 500 the whole season. In fact, they're 75-75. The Giants, they could have made moves, yet they too have been struggling. They've lost their last 3. They've only won 4 of their last 10. It seems like it is not who is good enough to get this 3rd wild card spot in the NL. It is who is going to not completely fall apart the most. And right now, the Mets had a big enough lead that they still have it. But I would not be shocked to see Arizona or San Francisco actually have a hot week and overtake the Mets here this year. So that's really all that I have for you for an update on what Gautam and I had talked about here the last about 2 weeks ago. We'll be back here next week with a regular episode. We'll be trying to preview the playoffs a little bit because I think we will have a couple more teams that have solidified their positions. There's definitely some more interesting things to look at, but I just wanted to come in, remind you guys, hey, we are still here. We're not forgetting about you. And yeah, I think that's all I got for you today. We'll see you next time. If If you enjoy the podcast, please subscribe on your favorite podcasting app or YouTube to make sure you don't miss any future episodes. Join the conversation on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Getaway Day Pod. If you enjoy card collecting, check out our sister YouTube channel at Getaway Day Cards.